Alrighty, what's going on, guys? My name's Zepter. If you guys don't know me, I am the person that runs Fortnite's mobile community. It is on Twitter. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the description, everything, my Twitter and everything in the description. You guys can go ahead and follow up on Twitter and everything. Um, so what I'm doing in this is I'm showing you guys the new update and basically explaining everything on how it works and whatnot. So, um, some of you may know they added a new sensitivity option thing. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how it is, and like how it works and everything and what it does. So, as some of you already know, and what we're used to as when it comes to editing, um, we have our basic editing button on my left side of my screen here. So this is what basic editing is as of right now. We have it as, if you guys are using dedicated editing, I definitely suggest using that. I have a edit button on my left side of my screen. So when I go into edit mode, then I have a edit button on my right side of my screen, and that is the dedicated edit button. I'm gonna go in depth on basically what that means and how that works. So then I use my right side of the screen to edit here, as you can see, and then I'm gonna go back to the left side of my screen to confirm the edit. And then if I wanted to go back to the regular wall, I'm going to go to edit, use my reset edit button, which is right underneath my jump button, right side of my dedicated edit button. That uses to reset the edit. And then on the left side of the screen again, I have to confirm the edit. But with the new option that they added, they have a release editing and they have a new edit button. And I'm going to show you guys basically how they work and what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my HUD layout here. I'm going to drag all the buttons down that we're going to need to basically tell you guys how they work. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring my reset edit button down. Okay. And I'm going to bring my shoot button down. And this is for people to understand more on a console / PC basis. So we have basically 3 generations of edit buttons here. We have first gen, second gen, and third gen. This is the new button. First gen, what it does is throughout the, a lot of the seasons we still use the first gen. If you guys want to try out the whole new edit button and the editing option within the settings, we're not going to be using this anymore on our HUD. You don't need to use this anymore. But a rundown on the first gen is anytime you tap this, you go into edit, you have to confirm the edit when you're editing, and then you can also exit editing with this button. And then when it came to the second edit into the second editing generation of Fortnite Mobile, they added a second editing button. It was a little confusing and hard to adapt to for some players, but it was crosshair editing and dedicated editing. So instead of dragging your screen on the edit board, you would be using a button and still dragging your finger to look, but instead of dragging on the edit board, you're just using your crosshair on the edit board rather than your finger. And that is what basically what it is the on console and PC, you know how they have they use the trigger or the left mouse click to shoot and everything. They would use that with the same crosshair on their screen, the reticle. They would use the shoot button and everything to then edit by using their crosshair reticle. But with the second generation update, that's basically what they did, but for mobile players. And then the third generation button that they now just added, what this new editing button does is it's basically taking first gen and reset edit at the same time and replacing them. So with the third generation edit button, we are now going into edit, confirming edit, exiting edit. You're doing the same things with the first generation button that we all know and use, but we're also using reset edit at the same time. So when I'm editing, basically what I can do is I can go into edit mode, place an edit, right? I'll edit a window, and then I have to confirm the edit, and then if I want to reset the edit, I go into edit, reset edit, confirm reset. But if I'm using 3rd gen, I'm going into edit, right? Going into edit. And now it's automatically resetting every single time I'm going into edit on that structure. And then I can place an edit. And then I can confirm edit. So now, then if you use the 3rd generation edit button, what it does is automatically resets every time you're going into edit. If I'm using the new option when it's edit on release, basically what that means is now I'm going into edit, placing an edit, and skipping the whole confirmation slash telling the game, yes, this is what I want to edit. You're basically getting rid of that whole step. So now it's just going to edit, boom, you're done, that's it. All right, great, you edit, you edit a door, you edit a window or whatever, or you cut the door in half or something. It's a lot quicker. It's a faster process rather than confirming your edit. So now what we're doing with the 3rd generation edit button and the dedicated edit button is we're getting rid of this button, 1st gen, you don't need it anymore, and reset, you don't need it anymore. So now you're using your dedicated button and your new edit, confirm edit, reset edit button. So now it's, okay, I place a wall, I want to, edit a window. So you're going to be going into edit, you're going to be placing the edit, and you're just going to release the edit button when you're on the editing board, and it's just going to place an edit. And then let's say I want to now change my window edit to an arc edit. Then you would just be going back into edit on the structure, and then just go ahead and editing the arc. Now I want the arc to turn into half of a horizontal build. I'll be going into edit, it'll reset, and then I just go ahead and edit whatever I want, and then upon release it's gonna do the edit for me. So now I'm gonna show you guys how they work in creative mode. So right now I'm using the default editing settings and buttons and everything right now on the platform mobile. So I'm using the 1st gen editing and 2nd gen editing buttons. My 1st gen edit button is on the left side of the screen, 2nd is on the right side. So I'm going into edit mode. I'm using my dedicated edit button to place an edit, and now I'm going to confirm the edit with 1st gen edit button. And then to reset the edit, I'm going into edit mode, pressing my reset edit, and then confirming a reset. But now if we go ahead and change both of the new settings on and using the 3rd generation edit button, so if you scroll down into your options, you're going to see confirm edit on release. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. I'm basically going to show you guys what this does first. So now it's going into edit mode, placing an edit, and now I don't need to confirm that is the edit I want because I'm already editing what I wanted. So now you don't have to confirm resets. Now you can, place edits a lot faster. There's no need to confirm that that's the edit that you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch my 1st gen edit button to the 3rd gen edit button, which is the new edit button up here. It is going to display as a non-visible combat button. You want to go ahead and turn that on to green as the 1st gen was. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it. And then with my reset edit button, I don't need that anymore. So now you could take that off your screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my settings. I'm going to exit out. Now every time when I go into edit, it's going to reset as this. And now I have edit upon release. Now I don't need to confirm my edit. So now I can edit however I want it, right? It's going to edit for me. And then I want to reset edit. All I'm going to do is go back into edit mode and confirm. Exit edit mode. So all you're doing is going into edit and getting out of edit. That's all you got to do. So now I'm editing a window here. I don't need to confirm that that's what I want because I place my edit, and I don't want to have to make that extra half a second step on confirming that that's what I want. And that's basically what they're trying to do, is eliminate the difficulty on touchscreen and how we can compete against other platforms when it comes to editing structures and whatnot. Now I want to change my window to, let's say, a left side door. All I'm going to do is go into edit and edit my left side door and release, and it's going to do it for me. Now I just want to go ahead and do it as a half cut horizontal wall edit. All I'm going to do is go into edit mode, and then I'm just going to go ahead and edit what I wanted. Maybe reset, go into edit, exit edit. So that's basically what the whole 3rd gen edit button does, and the new setting. I can edit a lot faster without having to confirm, and now I can reset edit without having to actually press reset edit. It just automatically does it for me. And then, as some of you may know, that they have the new sensitivities. I'm going to go in depth on what these mean. So you have your regular touch sensitivity. That's what everyone uses, and that's what we have all been used to. And if you guys are familiar with vertical sensitivity multiplier, basically what this is so I'm looking at the same speed as I am, side by side and up and down. It's a same speed multiplier, so I don't have any sensitivity differences when I want to do my X and Y and such. But with the new building and editing sensitivities, they kind of messed up on it. I think that they should have had it as their as the same as its own sensitivity rather than a vertical sensitivity multiplier and multiplier in general. So what it is as a multiplier is that if I turn my multiplier down for vertical, so this is my regular sensitivity, that I'm used to, but when it comes to looking up and down, it's a lot slower than my side by side. So if I go ahead and put it touch editing down and building editing down, just to show you guys what it does. So this is my regular sensitivity when it comes to combat, but then once I go into build, it's going to be a lot slower. And that's going to do the same thing when it comes to editing. So I'm spinning really fast, and hold on, I want to make a quick edit, an accurate edit. It's going to slow it down. And I think that it should have been its own editing speed. That's pretty much a rundown on what the whole building and editing sensitivities and what they do. It's either going to be the same sensitivity as combat, or it's going to be slower. And I think that they should definitely make it as its own sensitivity rather than what the multiplier is. So that's a rundown on what the whole edit is and the new sensitivities on the new Fortnite mobile update. Go ahead and follow everything down in the description, and I'll definitely try and see you guys next time. So thank you. Hopefully it helped you out, and peace.